All right, welcome back to episode 6, where tonight we are going to talk about being touched by the divine, awakening the inner king and queen through massage, music, and meditation. Now, I just think that touch with consent is it's the bee's knees, man. It is my love language. No surprise going into starting off in life as a massage therapist. I remember massaging people's shoulders when I was like 4 years old. So when you pair these three things together with me, massage, music, and meditation, that is like a complete life that I love right there. And so I want to talk about just this intimacy that you can create where you can actually begin to feel again, where you can reintroduce yourself to your own touch, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Because the truth is that it's delicious and it's devotional. And I also want to remind you that you freaking rode in on the wave of an orgasm. You rode in on a wave of orgasmic creative force energy, baby. Did you know that? You are not here to be numb, to fix yourself, or to keep running loops of pain. You are here to feel, to create, to be present, to touch the world with your presence. And today, we're going to begin with body, with breath, with intention, because we're going to begin with you. So, there's really a forgotten language of touch, and touch is primal, but we've really disconnected from it because of trauma, shame, cultural conditioning, and emotional armor that have really numbed us. And we've been taught what not to touch, but again, problem structure, but never how to touch with intention, creation. We're often unconscious in how we touch ourselves mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, through our thoughts, our actions, our relationships. Let me just tell you, touch is the gateway to presence. And it brings us out of the mind and into the moment. And what is saucier than the moment? You know, we've all had suffering handed to us in the name of love, but now here's where we get to choose again. Here's where we get to choose because, baby, you are creative force energy. And you did ride in on the wave of an orgasm. So, what makes you think that you're not allowed to choose your flavor? And this is why I think understanding values for the human is so crucial if we want to enhance our pleasure and decrease our pain from a place of wholeness. You know, we when we embody who we really are, we naturally do that in the way of love and respect because you are love energy. You're love energy, baby. And you feel it and you know it, but we're just not allowed to talk about it, right? We're not allowed to know it. We're not allowed to. We just got a lot of distortions going on. So if you haven't gotten it yet, make sure that you've signed up for the freebie, which is the Ignite Your Fire Within, which is where I walk you through a guided calling in your masculine and feminine energy through the elements. And don't mind my hair if you watch the video because tech wasn't working and I wanted to record it, but I wanted to give you just close your eyes and listen to the audio because it's such a beautiful meditation and we'll get better once we get the studio. But again, I'm not about the presentation right now. I'm about the conscious education and getting it into as many hands as possible. So the presentation will always get better. So if you want that meditation, make sure you're leaving some comments, make sure you're getting in touch, make sure you go. I don't know where the freebie will be once this is released, but if you don't have it and you want it, just message me. And we'll get you that freebie because it's such a good meditation. And it was a very, very instrumental meditation for me in embracing and embodying this wholeness, this whole feminine energy and this whole masculine energy. So it's really a beautiful meditation and it's with you, right? You can do it with a partner, but you got to do it through yourself first because that's the whole part of this, right? You are the creator. You are the primary creator in your life. And so you create this, you connect with self first. And it's not, well, I'm not going to tell you what it's not. We just, you'll show up for it and you'll walk through it and you'll sit through it and you'll experience it because it's powerful. It's powerful because you are creative force energy and you are actually masculine and feminine energy together. And it's just that, we've been creating from a place of not wholeness. We've been creating from a place of suffering and pain. And so, that's really what's in our unconscious. And the unconscious, the subconscious mind is the body. So this is all about getting to know yourself, your body, your breath, your energy, and letting the divine within emerge. You can also put your hand over your heart. That is an immediate way to create that connection with who you really are. Sitting, listening with your breath, using your other hand to bring in the elements in the way that I instruct you. That's just a great way. It's beautiful. You can listen to music and do it, but it's just a really beautiful meditation that really just wakes up and brings in all this beautiful energy, and you start to create that intimacy with yourself, which is powerful. And I'll someday tell you the story of how I learned that meditation and what were the breadcrumbs that led me to that, which is a pretty funny story, but that's for another day. So your body is your subconscious mind. So 95% of our lives are run by the unconscious, right? So 95% of what you think, what you feel, what you say, what you do, by the time that you're 35 or older, from Joe Dispenza, 95% running from programs, right? And if you understand that your emotions are energy in motion, right? But if they're not moved, they get stuck. They get stuck. And so one of the things that's so important is if you can get it out in the body, right? You don't have to try and resolve the resistance. You can just release it. Because with touch and breath and movement, that equals emotional release and integration. And anybody that has ever been on my massage table knows this because although it was a bold move when I had no idea what Reiki was, but when I met my Reiki master and decided, oh, I think I'm going to become a Reiki master and got my Reiki attunements pretty quickly together, not realizing what I was in for with that. It was a beautiful ride. It's been a beautiful ride, but it really has helped me with the people that I have given massages to, just energetically create integration, and they've felt it. That's why I'm such a good massage therapist. But I save those massages for a special person now. I don't know who he is, but he's going to be very, very, very treated very, very well. So here's the thing. And what we have to really understand is that we're not fixing ourselves. We're remembering ourselves, right? We're remembering ourselves. And so there are ways, and this is such a beautiful way because when you surrender in the body, you don't have to heal your trauma, right? You just need to allow your body to release the stored story. And whether this is with yourself or with your partner, like the sacred ritual of massage, music, and meditation, when you can create a sensory experience, it's heavenly. It is absolutely heavenly. When you get to feel your energy when you get to appreciate your body, when you get to allow yourself to feel these beautiful emotions of orgasm, sensuality, adventure, naughtiness, responsiveness, presence, right? When you begin to feel that within yourself, you're just connecting to who you really are. And you're integrating into wholeness and you're awakening that inner king and inner queen. You're just awakening that, right? And so intentional touch matters. Intentional touch matters. Intention matters. And if you haven't heard the segments on structure yet, make sure you go back and listen to the structure part, because here's the thing, and here's why intention matters, is because you can take the same action. But if you are in the problem structure from the not in identity and you take the action with the intention to try and resolve the unsolvable truth of you not being it, you will create oscillating results. When you're in the creative structure and you're choosing intention, I choose to create a life I love. I choose health and vitality. I choose to live my true nature and purpose. I choose to be the primary creator in my life. And you take action in that structure, right? And matters. Because when you're taking an action in that structure, you're coming from the embodiment that you are it. You are the creator. You are the creator in your life. What do you want to create? I want to create a life I love with lots of music, massage, and meditation, right? I want to spend hours with my partner in that world. It's such a beautiful world. It's such a beautiful world. No, is that going to be an everyday, all day thing? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe that's why I'm working so hard to build this value generating machine online. So, because that would be a life I love for sure. So, one of the things too is when you find a partner that is willing to build trust with you to this surrender, what's amazing and what you'll begin to understand is that when it's done in the way of love and respect, choose your flavor, babe. Choose your flavor. I have a saucy flavor. I have a naughtiness flavor. I have a wild flavor. I have a wild flavor. I have a deep love flavor. I have an intimacy flavor. So you get to choose your flavor, and there's somebody out there that is looking for your flavor. There's somebody out there that is looking for your flavor. And, if you are practicing this embodiment and stuff comes up and you're with a partner that, you guys want to practice and play and have pleasure, it's a beautiful way, especially with music. It's a beautiful way to move the energy out of the body and have a lot of fun doing it. It's a lot of fun. So if you don't know, thank me later. So your touch matters. How you touch the world mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. If you can ask yourself that question and ask myself, how am I touching the world? What is the ripple that I am leaving, right? Because you are leaving a ripple, babe. And if it's not a touch that you particularly like, then you got to go back to self and say, okay, how am I touching myself mentally, emotionally, physically, right? Am I constantly berating myself? Am I constantly telling myself I suck, I'm not good, blah, 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 which most people are, because they are not connected to who they really are, right? Then it's time to come back home. It's time to put your hand over your heart. It's time to, you can do this with me if you want. If you're on the video, you can do this wherever you're listening with me. Just do me a favor and just put your hand over your heart right now, wherever you're listening. If you're driving, hold on to the wheel, but use one hand, put it over your heart. Take a deep breath. And just sit in that with me for a minute, because this is who you really are. this is who you really are. And when you first connect to it, it can feel a little scary. It can feel a little scary. And let me tell you, as you begin to practice, and one of the reasons why I love audio so much, I think, and I can't wait to tell you what this audio clip was because, oh, it is so good. And especially like if you like massage, you are going to love this audio clip. Whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, you're going to love this audio clip, I think. It's a good flavor. Um, see it just had me completely undone. I forgot what I was talking about. But anyway, um, oh, I know what I was talking about. Sorry about that. But I see it distracts me every time, makes me go weak in the knees. So the reason why I brought up audio is because when you close your eyes and when you're in the creative structure and when you're creating from your true choices, right? It's everything is created twice. You create it in the invisible and you bring it into manifestation. Um, so your imagination is key here. And your brain doesn't know the difference between an emotion that you've created from something that you've imagined or an emotion that you've created from an actual experience. So if you are an audio queen like me or an audio king, then you can understand how those audios, those sounds, those frequencies, those vibrations, and especially if they're really good at it, one in particular, it can help you experience it and be safe in your nervous system. I so want to tell you what it is, but I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna. Um, so when I create the app, one of the things that you're going to have access to is some really amazing audio files, meditations, and music to help you build this sensory experience and just in the way that I would, and whether it's yourself or whether it's with a partner, right? This is about devotion. It's okay to devote time to yourself. It's okay to devote touch to yourself. It's okay to feel pleasure. It's okay to feel the essence of who you are. It's okay. This is your remembering. That is okay. It is okay. It is okay. And the way through is through your heart. So if you forget that, put your hand over your heart. This helps. And then you can start to build your emotional vocabulary. And that's one of the things that in my spiritually kinky academy that I have that's available is the most magical menu you've ever seen because it's got all of my what I call the luck emotions. And why it's so powerful is it because it gives your not just a word to start with, it actually gives you a definition and a little bit of a way that starts to create that emotion. Like you can feel the emotion right away in it. And it does it so beautifully. And if you're starting out numb, that's okay. That's where I started out. I'm telling you, like this is this is how you can really easily build end result emotions and actually get to choose what you love and create a life you love because we get to choose and we get to choose together. We get to choose for ourselves. We have to own our consent, our yes and our no first, right? We have to own our permission. We have to give ourselves permission to be the creator. We have to give ourselves permission to create the life that we love. Like, give yourself permission to do that, right? If there are parts that are looking for permission, give them permission. If there are parts that, where you need to own your yes and own your no in your life because you've just been squandering them away and they haven't really meant anything to you, then it's time to take a stand for them. And I know that that's not always easy in the beginning, but it's what we can choose to do if we really want to get the most out of this life. Because this life, it's we're supposed to be experiencing some joy. and some love and some togetherness and some touch and some beauty and some presence. And having just really started stepping into this new embodiment and this new my new voice and being present for so many more moments a day. Presence is so powerful. Presence is so powerful. And, I think if you're listening to this, chances are that you are being called in your life. And in our next episode, we're going to talk about episode 7. We're going to talk about from pain to power and rewiring the subconscious for play, pleasure, and creation. See, as these titles get saucier, I get a little bit more tongue tied. Mm, too funny. I love these episodes. I love them. And this is really the foundational stuff, you guys. This is really the foundational stuff, and this is really what it's all about. And if you need to up level your emotional vocabulary, I got you. You can definitely check out the Spiritually Kinky Academy and what that's all about. It's going to be absolutely on fire. You are never going to need another personal development or healing modality again after taking that class or after taking that academy. I promise you, there is so much value in there, not only from me, but what I was gifted from my millionaire mentor, Chris Duncan, who taught me this conscious education and who did it in a way that when he came across my feed, I was like, whoa, this is the conscious education that I have been waiting for my whole life. And if you haven't really checked out my origin story yet, this is what I am meant to do. It feels like a month and a half ago, maybe. Time is being a little silly right now, but about a month and a half ago, a month ago, I just felt like something was activated. Something said go, something was activated, something shifted. Yeah, all sorts of things started to happen, and I started just creating. Creating because I knew that this conscious education, I was supposed to be a person that helped deliver this to the world. And to me, this is not only the path that I walk through to being fully seen, deeply felt, and wildly free. um, I know what it's like to be in that darkness. I know what it's like to come from that. I know what it's like. And honestly, my whole life makes sense now. It really does. So, I'm embodying my voice in a whole new way, on a whole new level. And I'm just so excited to be able to share it with you. If you guys haven't done so yet, please make sure you drop some love here, whether you're watching this on the YouTube, whether you're listening to this on the audio. Please leave comments. Let me know what your biggest takeaways were. What did you love about it? Did I say any saucy lines that you were like, oh, yeah, I love that? One of the ones that people have been liking a lot lately is I'm not here to save you, I'm here to unleash you. And every time I say it to somebody, they're like, ooh. I'm like, right? They're like, I like it. I'm like, yeah, me too. Me too. So let me know what you're feeling. And we just have so much good stuff in store. You know, it's a building is a process. It is definitely a creative process, but we've got some really good magnetic alignment going on with um, the launch date of the podcast. So if you're listening to this, hey, congratulations to us. We launched live. People are actually listening. It's amazing. But June 29th is the launch of the podcast and the book. And then we are going to we've started creating the app, but looking into getting some cash flow and some capital and investors for advertising and app building. And I have all that information. So if you're listening to this and that somebody is you and you want to hear more about it, then you can definitely reach out to me because I have all of the numbers, all of it. And we're just looking for some, well, as of now, as I'm recording this, we're looking for some consistent cash flow coming in so we can get the ball rolling on this advertisement. So anyway, okay, back to episode 7. You're not going to want to miss it. Make sure you give some love. kinky, spiritually kinky across all social media channels, you guys. Definitely drop your comments. Every little comment is helpful. You guys know what the algorithm looks like. And well, now my algorithm looks like one of my favorite content creators because I literally watch his videos like 5 or 6 times. So I have trained my Facebook algorithm. Actually, I've trained all my social media accounts very well because I don't want to get distracted with things, messages that aren't helpful, right now in my world. I want to create this with precision, and I want to create this with my magic and with my energy. And we all know that social media, when we've got an algorithm that has been created from our wounds, it can really not help serve us in the best way. And it can really steal a lot of our time, our focus, and our energy. So now, at least when I go on social media, it's my little sweet treat. And yeah, I just go give some love and then I jump off because, I've got stuff that I'm creating. So I don't want to waste a lot of my time actually on social media if I'm not actually connecting to people. Um, but yeah, so I love you guys so much. Thank you for all of your support, all of the kind words, everyone that has been witnessing this being built as I've been hopping around town and talking to everybody about it. But I really appreciate your support. And I'm just really excited to see where this is going, because I know that this message has been very well received by a lot of people, and I know a lot of people are like, yeah, yeah, right. It's time for this remembering. It's time for this remembering. And so if I can help do that in a more organized, graceful way, and I can help be your midwife in this shift, then so be it. And I'm just going to continue to create a life I love. I'm going to continue to live my true nature and purpose. And it just turns out that you are part of my true nature and purpose, my friend, because I love bringing conscious education to the world. I love having deep conversations with people, and I love just basking in people that are willing to be seen and they're willing to let their light shine. I love basking in the light, like my light, their light, our light, bright light. It's beautiful. So I want you to remember that you're not broken. There's nothing to hit, there's nothing to heal, there's nothing to fix, there's nothing to solve. You don't need to know how. You just need to remember who you are. And in making this shift from being the oldest version of your past self into the youngest version of your future self, right? You get to stand on that identity that I am creator. I'm the primary creator in my life. I choose to be the primary creator in my life. I choose to live my true nature on purpose. I choose to create a life I love, and I choose to create health and vitality. And what's really great in the Spiritual Academy, the Spiritually Kinky Academy, we're going to teach you how to do that with vision, value, and voice. We're going to actually teach you how to grow into that and how to emotionally build those emotions, because what I have seen is that most people in my realm of the universe over here are pretty disconnected and pretty numb. But people are waking up, and the light is starting to shine. And so I just say we light it up. Just say we light it up, right? Because remember, babe, you're stardust. You're literally made of stardust. Like you can shine. Like Edward Cullen shine. Like you can shine. You can absolutely shine. Maybe not sparkle like that, but you can shine. Just think of those diamonds all across his face. Team Edward? Were you Team Edward or Team Jacob? Oh, that was such a hard decision. That was a really hard decision. Not gonna say that I didn't at times want them both, because gotta love me a wolf. But you know, the vampire. Ooh, there was something about Edward Cullen. And let me just tell you, if you guys have never heard his song, I cannot think of his name now, and you guys are, oh, I cannot think of his name. Robert Pattinson, right? That's his name. Um, at the end of Twilight, when they were like tearing up the boards and everything like that, they played this song, and it was such a beautiful song. Such a beautiful song. And it was like this deep, just like, like, I don't, that was a terrible example, but it was, um, and I can't even think of the song name. So you're going to have to watch Twilight, and you're going to have to listen for it at the end of the movie. But he sings that. That's him. And he has got a voice on him. So if I wasn't Team Edward after I heard that song, yeah, I'm Team Edward because he's an audio king for sure. I cannot believe he could sing like that. It was absolutely amazing. And maybe by the time that I post this, I'll have remembered the song and I'll put it in the notes below. But if you guys want to check out with Spiritually Kinky, our offers that we have going on, the things that you can, the communities that you can get into, anything like that, the podcast, all of that is going to be down below. Make sure you like us. Make sure you love us. If you like us and you love us, own your yes, own your no. And we hope to see you next week. And I love you guys.